Welcome to Columbus. Get blown out by the Cleveland. Score 106-92. Then 2-2, and then went on another 28 run to blow this game out. Went up by as many as 28. Has Cleveland? That's their fourth. They've been up and down all year. They had 8 in a row earlier this year. They've made some moves, adding Moss, Gov, and Smith. Has Cleveland clicked in?
I won't say that they've clicked in, but they're playing a lot better, and I think the confidence level's picked up. I think what we're seeing here is those three guys, the big three, if you want to playing. I think that's helping them. Defensively, though, I think the coach thinks it's defensively that they're a much better basketball team, and the reason for that is the trades that they've made. They've been able to do some different things.
Well, the Jazz shot 32% in the first half, so offense, or was that Cleveland defense?
And, that's so hard to say. I think the Jazz offense they're not getting anything out of their offense. I mean, you got a game here and there. You're gonna, it's late board, and I think that's a struggle.
There's two things that jump offense right now, Ron. One, you've talked a lot about it, but they only had one fast break opportunity. They're just not getting out and getting anything in the open floor.
6 for the game, and those came late in that fourth quarter, and I think off of a steal or something like that. But I just would like to see the pace of play pick up.
How do you do that?
Well, score. I'm up the score, up the floor to score. You get a rebound. Trey's got that outlet pass has to beat a Trey. Either Trey push the basketball up the floor and get guys to run. If it's not there, David, if you can always push it back, it gives you more time on the clock to get into your offense. I think what we're seeing now, they're running your offense and they're running it around. It's just going. They're sitting the pick and roll, and I was about to call out some names. What they do, setting picks, but they keep. That's awfully easy to be.
With a coach who believe that one of the problems in the NBA is coaches say that they want to practice his fast break. He said that he believes fast break is a play call that is no different than or anything else, that you have to practice how to run fast break.
I totally agree with him. He says that. And if you don't and you don't get anything out of it. If you don't run, get anything out of it. And just like anything else, you have to. And right now,
this is, Ron, as much as, okay, you're not going to get a lot of fast breaks. I mean, one of the things that's always interesting to me in the numbers is how few points are actually fast break points in this league. Even the teams that get a lot are getting about 18 a night. So you got to get points somewhere else.
Okay, forget about forget about scoring points on the fast break. Basketball at the floor, you can get into your offense a lot earlier. That now doesn't get set. I mean, when you go to shoot arounds, you practice shoot around what you want to do in certain situations. You get the defense scrambling, and what you want to do is get the defense to scramble and good ball some high percent. Mean that every time you push the basketball up the floor, you have to get you're pushing the ball up the score. That doesn't mean you're going to get fast break points out of it. That means you might be able to get something else.
Ron,
you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, when I watch this in the half court right now, so much is predicated on spacing and movement, and not all of our guys are being guarded. And I think that's what's weird here is, Joe, they weren't guarding Ennis at all tonight early in the game. I mean, he was open at 18 feet, and they were like, go ahead. And they're not going over on 8 picks on Trey right now. So you got those 5 guys on the floor, and the only Derek and Gordon, it's hard to score.
Even more so that you push it.
Yeah.
And make some things happen.
That's why, because Philadelphia knows if they're ever in a half court. Now, the problem with that is I'm not sure that developmental thing. So maybe the other answer is we're going to have to deal with this for a while.
Well,
this is the reality
of developmental stages of what the Jazz want to do. They're there. Execution, they work on it. They've done a lot to get to this point. Now, what do you do? See this? I can see them getting a little better. I can see individually them getting a little better, but have to do some other things here in order to. True enough, you just played a couple of the best teams in the NBA. Teams that, especially, just can flat out play. This is a young guy. He can get taken out of out there on the floor.
You made an interesting question tonight. Share with our postcast listeners what you asked there.
Well, I just wondered if we're as good as get right now that we have with the progress that we've made from the beginning of the year, and I think it's the point. Believe me, we've made a tremendous, but can be or we as for the rest of the year. In 25 games, right now we are right where we were at this time. But this young basketball see progress forward, and just looking down there, the number of guys, and that's all the Trays.
Off night for Trey in front of his hometown.
Yeah, it's amazing and wrong here. This really enjoy what they're doing and how, but
we're really limited. Yeah. Let's be really, hey, we're playing too deep. We played two guys. We played two rookies that combined 57 minutes, right? I mean, we're real, and we played guys that were undrafted in the NBA, 27, 13 tonight. That's, let's go to Ryan. The Jazz seem to struggle when they have a lot of offensive rebounds, but seem to have a great game out defensive rebound their opponent. What do you think that is? Well, by definition, you have offensive rebounds. When you force your opponents to miss. So by definition, and Ryan, that's why I would a statistic for you to try to keep a track of is defensive rebounding and offensive rebounding percentage. So, for example, tonight, you would take the Utah Jazz 26 defensive, and you look at offensive rebounds, and that means Cleveland got 15 offensive rebounds out of 41. Almost, that's about 37%, 25%. So they killed the Jazz. Flip side, offensive rebounds in 46 chances. That, again, is pretty high. So the Jazz had both teams had very good offense. Better way to look at it. When a guy on a 10-day contract is your third best three-point shooter, it's going to be a bad night. Are Williams and Millsap through the season in Wellington, Florida? And unless here, I don't know. The question really gets to be is how do you want to use that roster spot for the final? Elijah Millsap and a lot of Elliott Williams. Who they are. There may be a value that you decide players you'd like, and it would not necessarily be that you don't like Elijah Millsap, but you got a good glimpse of them. You know exactly who they are, and so now let us bring in somebody else and find out who they are.
Yeah, you're players, and you're at a stage. This is a team that's trying to build for the future. A team with a very young. Well, you're evaluating players and at the same time. But it's a necessity that they do those. Cleveland Cavaliers, they're going to make some moves here pretty quick because they need a point guard. They need someone else there, and right now, I think the Jazz, Dante is, and I think Thurl may have hit a wall. Said it correctly. That Dante may have hit this wall here, and maybe the Jazz need another point to help out.
Dante played a career high 30 minutes tonight. I think that's a career high, or at least close. Thanks for tuning in, Andy, Thane, Ryan. Thanks. Have a good night and be safe.